page.
Does anybody really like
Cops? Whoa, hey, whoa, where'd he go? Cops love him.
Yeah, you're right.
People love Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's like the Cops. It's like Cops' favorite band. It's like
more
the
or
things,
less than Nickelback.
Yeah, the things cops love most in the world.
More.
Things cops love most in the world. One, Punisher, right? Punisher.
Yes.
5 Finger Death Punch, beating their wives, shooting dogs.
5, the SGS Johners intro.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Such Good Shoot, the podcast.
About anything and everything regarding
No,
the
it's just a
world.
podcast. Why do we need
world.
more? What the fuck else do we need?
We are a podcast. We are one of 14 podcasts.
In the world.
14
in the entire continental
is a
block
very big number.
of Columbus, Ohio.
Dude, Columbus, Ohio, man. Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to the good people of Columbus, Ohio.
Well, we have to get it out right in the beginning here because they mandated it. We would like to thank our sponsor, Rod's Western Palace.
Yes,
Dude.
Rod's Western Palace. Thank you.
So, have you guys gone? Have you gone?
I would.
Are you going?
So, Isaac, I know this is crazy for you, but I want you to know how deep and bitter the rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan is. I have a little collection.
Is Rod from Michigan?
No. Rod is in Columbus, Ohio. He's an Ohio State fan.
Okay, good, because I was just worried for a second when you started this that he might be from Michigan.
No.
And we were going to have a big issue on the show with
So one of my favorite Ohio State Buckeyes of all time, football players, wide receiver Chris Olave. I bought a card of his on eBay.
Chris Olave, of course.
Because I really liked it and I enjoyed him. And I got it today, and I opened up the package, and the only thing the seller knew about me was my eBay name, which was my government-given eBay name, which is like SBTK1234SK, blah, blah, blah. But I bought a Chris Olave card from, an address in Columbus, Ohio. And the seller wrote on the packaging, "Go Blue," because the card was sent from Michigan.
Oh, no.
Oh,
he also sent me multiple Chris Olave cards because I assume that he doesn't want them in his collection because that just scares him as a Michigan fan, and rightfully so. But
yeah, he's gonna.
I'm just a random guy who bought a card from him on eBay, and he felt the need to insult my college team because that's how deep it is, Isaac.
Deep. Oh wow! Some guy she met at. What happened there? Is that a song?
Bowling for Soup.
Wow.
Ohio.
Yes.
Come back to Texas.
Damn.
And I apologize for all the wobbling. My setup is still a full little dinner tray table, so
dude,
deal with
if
it.
you don't stop apologizing, I'm gonna have to come down there and
I'm gonna have to come on you.
Well,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself too.
Anyway,
Dozer, what are you drinking?
Dozer, what are you drinking? It looked like you were opening a bottle with a cork. So was it a wine or is it a port? What was it?
It is
A tawny?
Fabio Cellars Royalty Port-styled wine.
Port-styled wine.
Because, it's not officially a port because it's not from fucking France.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that if it's called
Virginia.
port, it could be at least from Portugal. Right?
Yeah. Actually, isn't that... Port may be from Portugal.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Let's. Where's Brandy from? Like, is Brandy just like
Brandy
Brandy? only
Brandy?
comes from fucking stripper pussy.
Jesus Christ.
No, Brandy is the generic name. That can be anything.
Gotcha.
Cognac and Armagnac are
All-
the French ones.
What is it with these? They're all stripper names.
I was thinking Layla Starr, but you know that.
Hell yeah. Is she hot or what? Let's get
no,
some pictures.
I
Can we
don't-
look at pictures of her butt on the show?
Layla Starr. I don't.
Are we gonna go TV? Are we gonna go TVMA if we're gonna if WWE is potentially bumping up to 14? Do we get to bump up too?
No, you exist as TVMA to non-rated. What you do?
I thought we were AO.
AO?
Yeah,
AO.
adult only, man. Adult only.
Okay,
That's
cool.
you. That's what I was just saying.
I can't spell words like that.
But anyways, yeah,
What are-
WWE
so
is apparently going to go to TV 14 next week or
no, they're
sometime
not.
soon, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? The guy who reported it said that it was false after he reported it. So who knows? Shane, what are you drinking, dude?
Jelly, not jam, cherry limeade. I can't remember what brewery it's from, but I picked it up tonight. It's a 4.4% sour, fruity beer, but it tastes like it's 10% because
Nice.
it's extremely thick and very sour.
Oh, nice. I'm drinking a
Isaac, you'd be very impressed, honestly.
a natty daddy. You'd be impressed with this. You know the difference between jelly and jam, right? You can't.
Jelly
You
is
can't.
Daddy and jam
you
is
can't-
a daddy.
You can't jelly your dick in an ass.
Oh,
You get it?
Damn.
No jam.
yeah.
Jam. we are on a roll. I actually started drinking before the show tonight.
We're in for a fun show.
Yeah,
Surprise.
Me too, but that's normal. Oh boy.
Yeah. We're good. We're having fun. Great
Isaac,
time.
you want to say what are you drinking? Because I don't think we actually covered that on the show.
Sorry, no, I did. The Natty Daddy 8-pointer.
Sad. Sad.
Mm.
You got some tequila.
Sad.
Yeah, he doesn't like Michigan. Your dad, Wade doesn't like Michigan. He's very. sad
No,
about that.
I believe he was responding to your joke. I believe that came in.
No. The joke he loved. He loved the joke.
No.
Yeah. Confirm, Wade. You don't need to confirm. If you said sad, it's because you love the joke. We already know that.
But anyways, if the WWE rolls into TV 14 entertainment, other than women's biological parts, what would you boys want to see from the WWE? What's your what's your modus operandi if they want you to get back into programming with the TV 14 change?
Rating doesn't matter. Just make it fucking interesting.
Well, with TV
I
14, you can have a lot more routes of making it interesting.
No, you can't, because WWE is still going to do the same fucking thing. It's still going to be the same two people having rematch after rematch after rematch, not using the other 97% of the roster, which somehow they still have a ginormous roster they haven't fucking fired.
But what if they start referring to Seth freaking Rollins as Seth fucking Rollins?
Not happening, because you still can't say fucking in TV 14.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool, though.
Not
Isaac,
happening.
you have an answer? Go ahead.
Worst case, it'll be Sheamus going, Seth fucking Rollins.
That'd be awesome.
My first answer was obviously anatomy. Let's see more boobs. Let's see more butts.
Yeah,
Let's see
but
the
I cut
puppies.
that out with the question.
Yeah, well, that's my first answer. You don't get to take that from me.
Oh.
That's what I want. But no, I think seriously. I think color. Having matches with color is important in building feuds.
That's your TV. We've had color for a long time.
I think that
color came in like the 1950s.
I think that color is a really important building point in feuds. I think that color, when used correctly, and I think mostly AEW uses color correctly. It's not every week. Might be every 2 or 3 weeks. It happens enough. but when color happens, it matters.
You make it feel important.
Like
And then
the
also
think about the dude from the Blackpool Combat Club who just got beaten to piss by
Wheeler Yuta?
Moxley. Yeah, Wheeler Yuta. Think about that match. If he wouldn't have bled, that match would have mattered a lot less.
Sure. I think for me, like that's a big one. I also think, just like being able to, if utilized correctly, right? You have this roster. And I think that and I hate to make this comparison, but I'm going to. If you compare this to the Attitude Era and like the Monday Night Wars, right? And you look at what is trying to happen. If WWE does this correctly, right? Their roster for the most part is pretty young, or is at least like they have a lot of young talent that they can, if done right,
Yeah.
they can turn into stars.
I mean, again,
right?
Austin Theory is
Oh my
the
God.
project right now.
Yeah, he's great. Like he is. Like I credit where credit's due. The guy's awesome. He's entertaining. You see him on camera. Like you don't want to.
And he's believable in every way other than in ring.
But you just want to see him get beat up. He doesn't have to wrestle that much. I mean,
No,
you saw
100%.
like he took one of the greatest stunner cells I've ever seen.
No,
You
I mean
know, like,
100%. He's
but
got the WWE thing.
I think one of the things that is hard about the kind of wrestling that we saw in the 90s leading up to 97 and the kind of wrestling we've seen, I mean, really since the end of Ruthless Aggression, when Benoit died and like they really started pulling back the fucking reins on what they wanted to do. Very rarely did you get feuds between anyone but like real major stars that felt like there was anything in them. And I think, even being able to have like some adult themes, like, I don't know, there's something about having a brawl in a bar where people are drinking that you can't do in a like G or whatever, fucking P, whatever rating it's been, and like you give people the finger. You know what I mean?
It's the same premise as I believe that every single horror movie should be rated R because it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. And I've seen way too many horror movies suffer because they're rated PG-13 because they wanted to try and market the movie to maybe a younger audience. Maybe it didn't have enough substance for the adults, whatever.
Disagree. But Jaws, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, are better because of the rating.
You can't compare the like a R and a PG-13 from the 70s.
No, because listen,
because you see some titties.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Poltergeist. I grew up with horror movies. I grew up with Wade. Wade showed me a lot of horror movies. I tried to step up to him. He said, "I'm going to show you a PG-13 horror movie." Sorry, PG rather, straight up. Poltergeist back in the day. And I said, yeah, cool. And he showed it to me and I screamed like a little bitch. Dude, Poltergeist is easily a PG-13 movie today. There's no way it would be rated anything less than that. But I'm not saying that something can't be rated lower and not be as scary or not be as good. I'm just saying that wrestling should be rated TV-14 so that way they can have the creative level to do what they want. It all doesn't have to.
And what I am trying to say is when you have that higher rating, now sometimes they feel the need that they have to do the next level always.
But
it's not necessarily the option. It's the, we go from Texas Chainsaw or whatever, and I'm going old and new here, but with barely anything being shown, all being in your mind, to Saw.
Sure, but here's the thing. Here's the thing: is what we're not talking. But we're not talking. We're not talking about movies. We're talking about TV show. And yes, the rating is kind of analogous, but ultimately, what we're talking about is a TV show that is simulated fights, right? And like ultimately, like a good fight, like if you're gonna watch UFC, like UFC isn't really for little kids, right?
No, you
Because
want a violent fight.
yeah, and like it doesn't
Unless
have
you're
to
like a
be,
wrestling dork or something like
but
that.
even still, like it doesn't have to be like true violence. But what you want is you want it to have something that's grounded in reality, and like it was what was the Saturday morning show that we had for a little while with like Kofi Kingston and all those guys?
Saturday Morning Slam.
Was it? Yeah, and it's like trying to do a show where it's like, okay, we can't hit them here, we can't do this, we can't do that, and it's like sometimes limitations lead to great success. In
It,
wrestling it can, but it's putting limitations on the right things. And I don't think saying like, okay, we need to focus on selling merchandise to fucking 10-year-olds is the way to like, get
it's
people to watch your product.
what I think it really needs to be is you let the time of the show dictate the rating. You give Raw the PG-14. You keep SmackDown as PG because that's a little earlier. And if you ever want to do a Saturday morning show, you make that even on the cleaner side of PG, but you can do it. It's just ill-advised.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't. But yeah, I mean I don't know. For me, I think it's a necessary thing, right? I think the more rated G you go with professional wrestling, the more hokey, cartoony
Dude,
bullshit you have to do. The more ridiculous characters, the more fucking, and we'll get to this a little bit later when we discuss our main event, but the more fucking like Nikki Cross superhero bullshit you get.
yeah, no, I mean, and that's what I'm saying is I really think it's for the best because TV-14 allows for creative freedom. You don't have to be confined within a as strict a set of rules as what you do with a TVPG, as what you have to do with a movie PG, whatever.
But you can make your characters more real, more
Yeah,
relatable, because like
again,
What? You
ultimately,
don't want a big bad wrestler coming out there saying suffer and succotash?
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean
no,
all that's done, but even just like yeah, it can be kind of entertaining, but ultimately like I would rather see like a proper wrestling build to something with like Elias versus Kevin Owens than just sort of treating it as a joke the whole time, because you have two guys that are great. Elias is fucking over as hell, and then what do? Like oh,
I
he's too
mean, both
over.
the
He's
angle's
too,
fine because both of them are incredible.
yeah, because of that, but it's still like it's always felt
Yeah.
like
But
Elias got too over, so they were like, we're gonna do something stupid with him. And it's like I think like if you allow creative to go in a direction where you can make these guys more realistic, more real, and get I mean, ultimately it comes down to like whatever's going on backstage, there's obviously a power struggle. And if Vince gets out of there and things and people like Triple H and Stephanie are actually running shit, we've seen what Triple H can do with a deep talent pool. And
yeah,
I think that's the future. And NXT, like WWE's blood policy, even then in NXT, I guess, what was NXT ever 14 or was it always?
no, it was like PG, I think, for the TV show, and then it was
There's
unrated because it was on the network, and then when it came back,
yeah.
I think it was PG, but
Yeah, I mean,
There's still
I don't know what they like, what they're.
I mean, I think that you totally missed the mark on Elias versus Kevin Owens because I think this is a great feud in the context of WWE to have them
Yes,
in.
no, sure,
But
but I'm not, and this isn't a shot at what they're doing with this feud, right? It's not at all, because I think
you're
that
just
like
saying it's a silly feud to be having because
yes,
both of them are okay.
because imagine if you had those
Okay.
two guys
Yeah, okay.
putting
Okay.
the same effort into something that fucking made sense,
Okay.
right? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like
I'm
that's
just.
all. That's
I mean.
all.
I mean. I mean.
They're
I mean.
so
I'm
good.
just saying that in the context of WWE where it is today,
Yeah.
this is the best thing that Elias,
Yeah.
especially, could be doing, and Kevin Owens is being what Kevin Owens is always, which is just the best, and puts everything
great.
into all of it.
And that's the thing is, like, I think if you have a guy like Kevin Owens, who is legitimately one of the best, I mean, promos in the business, one of the best at just getting you
Yeah.
invested in something. I mean, look what he did for WrestleMania. He built that whole shit all by himself. You know, like the whole build to that was all him. Him and Rollins both got to do that all alone. They build their whole story. Like, and you know, like that's impressive. And someone like Elias who got over with a fucking dumb gimmick,
And then
a
got hurt and
real,
just left forever.
but is over as hell. Like one of the most like naturally over wrestlers in WWE, and fucking
But
to be like, oh well, let's shave your beard. We're gonna change that gimmick, and now we're gonna pretend that you're not related. And it's like it's goofy and it's silly, and they're making it work. But I'm saying if they had put some actual effort into building a proper feud between these two, like what's like at what point are they trying to build for the future? Like that's a feud that builds both these guys up to be like next year more main event if you actually let them do the shit that they could do.
yes,
Yeah.
I agree, but that's not what we were talking about.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm using an example as saying if we go to TV 14,
Yes.
if we have that broadened thing, we don't have to think in the terms of like what kind of goofy fucking Looney Tunes shit do we have to do with these
Again,
characters.
just think about Kevin Owens and TV 14 comparative to
Yeah,
TVPG,
exactly.
and that's how we stand about that.
Yeah. What's your chic of the week? I want to light this blunt.
Oh, dude, I don't. We're 20 minutes in. There's no chic of the week. We have breached
Oh, god damn it. I'll
chic
fucking
of the
do
week
it then.
territory.
Sheik. Iron goddamn Sheik. Where is he? The Sheik of Iron says
Chic of the week. Chic of the
Dozer,
Iron Sheik.
how are you less alive today than what you were last week?
This is incredible.
You were a mere mummified skeleton last week, and
All right. Iron Sheik says live, laugh, and beat the fuck out of jabronis.
Hell yeah.
And no, last week I was drunk as hell.
Yeah.
I
You were
literally
goddamn
don't
drunk.
remember the show ending.
Hell yeah. I think I pushed the button for us.
So Facebook user, I don't know who you are. I would like you to respond in a way that we know your name.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but whatever you say, TV would be great. Can we fire writers, allow wrestlers to write their own stuff?
Yeah,
I think they should write their own promos, or at least be given like the bullet points.
but
and go back
it
to
has
booking.
to be filtered somewhere because wrestlers love to do their own thing. They love to make themselves look as good as possible, and that's not good for business, and that's not good for anyone.
You need a
Wrestlers
good
have to have some sort of creative filter.
Triple H. Let Triple H do it.
To do, but someone has to be there to say no or to give creative criticism to make things better.
Sarah of Buckle Bomb Entertainment.
Hey, yes. Sarah.
What is up? Good friend, friend of the pod. I you know, this is not related, but I love saying that. I love saying that. Friend of the pod, Sarah, Buckle Bomb Entertainment. Awesome channel.
They've been announcing a lot of cool stuff on their social medias. They've had some scoops recently. I know Sarah went to Dynamite and reported some stuff on Rampage, and they shared some Ric Flair stuff earlier today. So check it out.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not following Buckle Bomb Entertainment on the social medias, you're missing out because they do really good work over there. So.
But anyways, yeah, wrestlers definitely should be given creative control, but also at the same time they need to have reins to focus
and not just Roman.
Yeah, not so much creative control over their characters, etc., but creative control-ish over what they get to say. Like not have someone write it for them. You're like, this is what you're trying to get across, and make it natural.
Yeah. Because I mean, again, there is something to older, smarter wrestlers. Just telling you, look, like it needs to be this way because that's gonna work.
Every now and then, Jim Cornette has a little nugget of wisdom.
There's
called
something to a
dingleberries
creative process. But
What
also,
if Jim
Sarah,
Cornette and Triple H ran?
Sarah, is there any way you could give us a little teaser? Is it a wrestler from the 80s, 90s,
I will give you $1 if you just tell me.
2000s, 2010s? Give us just
It's Gorgeous George.
It's Gorgeous George. Jesus.
Wow.
Oh God.
Bill Alfonso.
Oh, I'm already annoyed by this interview.
No, that shit kicks ass, man.
It's just him blowing a whistle the whole time. An Impact wrestler. She said, awesome.
Impact wrestler.
Boom.
Impact today.
You know what? You know what? I really and genuinely hope that you've got Heath, because if you got Heath, I will tell you what, he is one of the best interviews I think we ever did.
Future world champion.
Just an incredible guy.
Fun
really
guy.
Fun, really nice. Yeah. And taller than Hornswoggle.
So is Shane, so it's not saying much.
Yeah.
Wow. That was really mean.
Hey, it can be sometimes. But speaking of that, don't we have a show to review?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's our main event.
Yeah.
Of the evening.
Yeah, when we said
NXT.
No Way Out of Texas, we meant that. We are still in fucking Texas.
San Antonio.
Oh, it is not Heath. It is a current female signed wrestler with Impact. So she'll make the announcement when it's officially booked.
Yep, and don't let Isaac talk to her.
Hey, now, come on! I've interviewed ladies before.
Oh, you stop it!
I did. We had a great conversation with ODB, didn't we?
Yeah, but ODB is honestly,
and she has some fat fucking titties, bro.
That bitch, dude. Isaac, listen, ODB would overpower you physically, and like I understand you would like it, but you don't like.
Yes. Nothing you're saying would deter
ODB
me
is just an entirely different breed of.
All I'm saying is that if I can show respect to the woman who's got just giant hooters and is always grabbing them as part of her gimmick, then I think I can show respect to all them other bitches. No.
Bro, so you're not getting on it. So let's talk about NXT Takeover San Antonio.
Sure. Yeah. Those are. Why don't you just take a nap? We'll handle this.
I can do a little bit of work here. I can do some work. Because you know what? This pay-per-view opens, and right off the bat, you have Super Eric taking on Stan.
You know what, though? You know what's funny is that right before the EY and Ty Dillinger match, there were the three dark matches, and one of them was No Way Jose versus Elias. Well, he was still Elias Sampson.
Yes, before he got kicked out of NXT by who did he get kicked out by? It was Aleister Black.
He kicked him. That's a bully move, isn't it?
I saw it live in Columbus. It was Aleister versus Elias in a mask, and it was a loser leaves town, and he got a mask, and he left town again. And, it was something else.
Wow.
Does anybody else remember Eli Cottonwood?
Yes,
he was in Nexus, right?
I don't think he even made Nexus. He was just in NXT season 2, I think. But
really?
Yeah, nobody liked him. But sorry, Elias made me think of that.
But anyway,
was he the mustache promo?
Maybe
mustache promo.
It was mustache. A tall dude with no.
What
charisma.
Is a mustache?
I am sorry.
I don't have one, but I do have one. Yeah, it is.
So
it is. Yes, that's okay. The worst.
Anyways,
the worst promo.
EY. EY versus Ty
Yes.
Dillinger.
Dude,
You know,
this is the era where fucking Ty
No,
Dillinger
Isaac, shut up, bulldozer.
starts every fucking pay-per-view. It's great.
I was going to say, yeah, Ty does great shit, but he don't win anything. I literally don't think I've ever watched him win a match, and that's as
No,
Ty
Ty-
Dillinger or Sean Spears.
Ty was, especially in this time, resident grand jobber.
Yeah, he was like the new Tyler Breeze or fucking what was CJ
Dolph
Parker?
Ziggler.
You
No,
know,
CJ Parker. Dolph Ziggler was a world champion.
And Jobber to the Stars.
And he turned face on Monday Night Raw this week.
So he can job to Austin Theory.
So that way he can job to Tommaso Ciampa.
Tomato. This match was fucking slapping, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
This is great, dude. This was a great show. This was a great fucking show.
Like,
was there anything bad on it? No, nothing.
I know. I love the way they played the interference from Sanity, which was, I mean, really, honestly, virtually non-existent until later
they put
in the match.
They put the foot on the rope.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did that, but I mean, again, they weren't like attacking him outside.
No, it wasn't.
It was just teased and teased and teased.
It was a good build.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was super over for Ty. The 10 chant was gaining a lot of steam. He was the real fiery baby face who acted like a dumb baby face, especially towards the end. Sanity ended up cheating to win. Eric Young with the deepest voice and the smallest man.
So cool seeing him do cool, like be in NXT.
He's a big deal back in Impact now.
Yeah, well, he was a big deal in Impact before.
Yeah, I mean, super Eric.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, thinking about this, like how many stars from like Ring of Honor and Impact and shit are on this pay-per-view.
Well, no, I mean, people that are just no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this match didn't have a whole lot of stakes. Again, Ty went into this with like a losing record, and it was like a losing streak rather on pay-per-view. And even the commentators after the match were like, "What is left for Ty? What is he gonna do?" Like, he didn't do anything. Respectfully to him, obviously, but
he did put on a hell of a fucking match.
I mean, he put on a hell of a show. And as far as the opener for this NXT Takeover, it's a comfortable 3, but it's like a feel good 3. It's I'm having fun 3.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm just looking at the match itself, like the work rate, like what those guys did, like absolutely all day long 3. Sure, there's no consequences, but it also is like the opening match of a pay-per-view. And I think, like, he doesn't get enough credit for that, but like the energy of him, just his entrance, right? Alone, like the 10 entrance alone, gets that show popping. And then he puts on a clinic.
Gimmick work at all.
And then he puts on a clinic. I mean, in ring, he's great. He's got the look. He knows how to like do the facial shit. Like he sells incredibly well. Everything he does, like the guy is an incredible wrestler. And honestly, I don't think that he needs to win necessarily to I mean, if somebody's got to lose, and if you're going to be a jobber, like, or whatever you want to call it, like, be over as fuck and be great at what you do. And he hits it on the head. And I think
I mean, there were talks at this time about Eric Young being an NXT champion, and obviously that never materialized. And
because they eventually moved him to SmackDown, and then he just
Well, no, for sure. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, but there were real talks about Sanity taking over NXT. I mean, Sanity.
It would have been awesome.
Taking the tag belts, taking the heavyweight title, and taking the women's belt with Nikki.
It was a great like build on this pay-per-view, because that's what it really felt like it was going to, like the way like they just had this the beginning and the middle and like towards the end, they really had a lot of like influence in this, or
sure.
But yeah, I think I got to agree 3. Like I'd like to give the match a little bit more, but
it was
ultimately, you know who's going to win. There wasn't anything at stake. There wasn't a question of the outcome. but it was great. It was a great match.
It was a good match. I wouldn't call it great. I'm going to mostly agree, but I'm going to go with a 2.75 on this one.
So where's old Mel Dog on this one?
Well, for the time being, we'll call my rating a mercy rating. Meltzer gave it a 3.
There's no mercy. I don't care.
Yeah, I do.
I do. I don't want to finish this wine.
I don't want to finish anything. I just want to quit. I want to quit my life sometimes.
Don't say that because I'm going to have to give a warning.
Yeah, don't do that, folks. Call if you're ever feeling down. Reach out. We're here to help. Cat, don't sneeze on me.
And that just brings us to the match of the evening that I think all of us at one point went, what? Who? As we have Andrade Almas taking on
Sienna
Roderick Strong.
Yeah, I did not recognize him at all. I was like halfway through and they kept saying Strong, and I'm like,
you didn't know. I recognized Roddy from the beginning. It's just weird to think that he entered this.
I never watched him in Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
really, because once he ended up in Undisputed Era, his just look was way different.
Well, and it's just crazy to think that he arrived this much earlier than Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly.
And he's still there.
The other three, he's still there. The other three ended up like debuting on the same night. He was there this early. This match whooped ass.
Yes, 100%.
Andrade finally found his character. He's no longer just a weird baby face. He's kind of heel, he's cocky. He does a lot more power moves,
does that weird ropes thing.
Yeah, slap people more. Not Bobby Fish. Roddy is just a great professional wrestler. Backbreakers everywhere, technical shit, suplexes, submissions. Just a really hotly contested match. Roddy picks up a big win at the end.
Definitely, dude. I was because watching it, I'm like, fuck, dude, because I remember them like giving Andrade a push. And like I was like, fuck, dude, I didn't remember him losing to fucking Roddy Strong this early, but that's awesome. Good for Roddy.
4 stars.
You're out of your goddamn mind.
It was really
3.5.
Yeah, it was really good. I don't think it was 4, but I think it was better than 3.5. So 3.75.
You just have to be difficult.
No, I just have to be me. I just have to be me.
Well, luckily, even me with my poor ass 3.5, we all thought better of this match than Dave Meltzer. He gave it a 3.
I guarantee you that he would have given it like the same grade as Shane had it happened in AEW.
Tokyo Dome.
Dome.
But now,
dude,
it's the match of the night coming up next. Let's go, baby.
Not the match of the night, but real fucking close.
Match of the night.
We have the Authors of Pain taking on
the main event.
Do It Yourself.
That main event, dude. Shinsuke's best WWE match today.
Fucking good.
And no doubt. And
DIY is red hot right now with everyone with the crowd. They're working hot. Ciampa already, I was looking at this. He's put on a couple pounds already. He's getting into championship form. But the Authors of Pain were working at an extremely high level for where they were in the business. We talked about this earlier privately.
Yeah, and I don't disagree.
They were crisp. They looked really strong. Obviously, they have 2 of the best wrestlers in the world wrestling them, at the same time. Johnny and Tommaso were the perfect foils. They sold extremely well. There were injuries. I loved the double slingshot through the ropes to take one of them down.
I love that fucking when they were in the double submission and the way they broke that submission was great with like
Uh-huh.
just throwing him. This match was incredible. There's no doubt about it in
And
my
and,
mind.
and like, listen, the finish made so much sense. They went for their finisher, which is the meet in the middle. They got caught in the perfect position, which is to lift them up on your shoulders. Super collider, connect, set down
Dude, they fucking
in
those power bombs, dude.
dude
Jesus Christ.
in the shocked sadness of the crowd speaks volumes because they did what they wanted it to. The crowd was mortified.
It was a great match, dude.
Yeah.
100%. This was the second best match of the night, and it was not like it was a distant second. I mean, it was a really close second for me.
4.5.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I agree. I think that's where I'm going because it's very close to my number one, and my number one was almost perfect. Dozer gives it a 4, ladies and gentlemen. What is you got fingers for Meltzer or what? 3.1.
3,
Five.
fuck you.
3.5. 3.5. Okay, he's goddamn, dude. 3.5 stars on that. Fuck you, Meltzer. Fuck you so much. Well, that brings us to the what is it? The fatal 4-way?
Yes, where we have Asuka taking on Nikki Cross, taking on Ursula and the Little Mermaid. I mean,
The
Billie
iconic
Kay
duo.
and Peyton Royce.
The iconic duo.
This match was the most disappointing to me on the night. Not because I think it was poorly worked, and not because I feel like what they didn't work. I liked the way the Iconics interacted with
And
themselves.
they weren't even the
I like
Iconics
the
yet.
That's fine. I like the way they set it up. But obviously the crowd was just over for Nikki versus Asuka. And honestly, I just wish that's what they did. I understand they wanted to protect Nikki because, again, I believe at this point they wanted Sanity to take over eventually. Obviously, it wasn't this show,
Excuse me.
but I think it was on the horizon at this point. The Iconics, the way they interacted in the match, I think it was brilliant because they never once double crossed each other.
No, they were trying.
They fought together and they lost together, and that's what it worked. I think some of the stuff they did was stupid because, again, if the way Tom was saying it, which is they wanted to be champion, but it didn't matter which one. Why didn't one just finger poke of doom the other one? But I mean, Asuka was scary. She won. That's what matters.
Nikki was great. Nikki and Asuka put on a hell. I mean, they all were great in it. I mean, I think the thing with this match
it was short.
That it was short enough, but I think it was like a really entertaining match. Like compared to a lot of the other Asuka matches that we've had, those Asuka matches, the first viewing are great, like the one-on-ones, but like I don't know, it's a little bit more entertaining when it's a 4-way, I guess.
Oh, sure,
Knowing the outcome.
Yeah, no, you're getting people doing different stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. I think 3.25. I mean, I think 3.25 because
3, you pussy, 3.
No, because I like this match more than I like the Ty Dillinger match, so I can't give it the same. But also, as soon as Dozer's done with his, and we have to talk about Seth freaking Rollins too. You can't forget. You can't forget.
I'm just going to make it simple. I'll give it a 3.75. I enjoyed it, but not, I enjoyed it. That's all I'm saying.
3.75. You enjoyed it a lot.
Very much.
Very much. That's like the highest score you've given it almost. You give it 4. Meltzer?
2.25.
I love this fucking version of Dozer. This is what happens when fucking your asshole neighbors dump 85 kids at your house and take off for the fucking weekend.
Bring-
Dozer actually watched this show, and that's Dozer. You watched it, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
So
had more opinions last week.
Last week I was drunk.
The fucking
Like-
Seth Rollins shit, though, guys,
Mhm.
was awesome. Seth
Dude,
Rollins
the way they
is the
did it was
fucking
so
man.
good because they were just
Beating
talking
the-
about stuff, and you saw Seth pop up in the ring behind them. They call this takeover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Incredible. Just an incredible promo for him. So this was like post authority Rollins,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, this is when he turned face.
Dude, what a great promo from him, beating up the security guards, going at like the whole thing was really well
I mean,
executed.
showing up at Triple H's baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great
It was
stuff.
just a
It
great-
continued it in the back.
It was a great use of the WWE universe. They don't
Mhm.
use the WWE universe well because they set boundaries that they don't like to adhere to. But this here was just, it was so perfect.
And yeah, and he's one of the all-time best out of fucking like homegrown NXT talents.
Yeah.
You know?
Seth is legitimately, if I had to choose one person that would be allowed to go to other promotions from WWE, it'd be Seth. I would choose him over Ciampa. I'd choose him over Walter. I'd choose him over Roman. I'd choose
The
him
guy's
over.
he's the best. He really is.
He can do anything.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah. No, you watch him like, and you just see like the evolution of Rollins from. I mean, what was his name? Tyler
Black.
Black. Yeah, I was gonna say Bates, but that was someone else. But anyway, yeah. I mean, goddamn, dude, it was great. It was a highlight of the show, honestly. And yeah, that whole segment was a big thumbs up for me. We don't rate those, but it's a big thumbs up.
Roman is the guy now, but Seth has been the guy for
Sure.
for literally ever at this point.
I mean, the thing with Roman is he's the guy that they've always wanted, and they've been pushing and pushing and pushing. Seth is the actual
Crutch.
If like, you know, like it's the thing is like Seth, had they actually like paid attention, they could have had another Stone Cold kind of fucking explosion with Rollins instead of forcing. And like, credit where credit's due, Roman Reigns has come a long way. He's really good at what he does. They finally found the right thing for him. I think him getting cancer and beating cancer really like swung the pendulum in his direction. And I don't mean to like sound like an asshole, but like before he got cancer, he was hated, absolutely hated.
No.
And when he came back, he was not. And ever since then, they've been using him correctly, and with the crowd support from that, and like it's been to the moon. But had they put that kind of effort into Rollins from the beginning, and like they did put a lot into him, but had they gone that level and like put all the fucking guns in his corner,
he just doesn't need that effort, though.
No, he doesn't. But if he had it, you would have a guy who's on a fucking next level.
He poked Rey
star.
Mysterio's eye out, and somehow people attribute it more to Rey Mysterio than him at this point.
Yeah, the dude.
I mean, honestly, you think Rey Mysterio? You think, oh, he got his eye poked out. You don't think?
Not
Seth
me.
Rollins
I think he got. I think
out.
he died at the world's worst Money in the Bank match. Rest in peace, Ray. Rest in peace, Ray. Anyway, this brings us to the main event, which
it does.
Is Shinsuke Nakamura versus the glorious one, Bobby Roode.
This is a wrestling match. This
is
shit. An old school knockout, drag out, pandemonium brawl. I'll tell you what, man.
God fucking damn it, dude. No, this match was fire. Pure and fuego. Like incredible stuff. Bobby Roode, one of the best
Psychological.
Yeah, I mean, well, and he's another one of those guys that like it doesn't matter if he's like even wrestling. Like if he didn't even like wrestle that well, like the way he reacts, like is just like his natural reactions,
Well,
his
he doesn't
facials.
wrestle that well. That's the thing. He's a very good wrestler,
Yeah,
but he's not a great wrestler at all.
but
Never has been.
he's one of those guys that's like it's like The Rock. You don't have to be the best in ring to like just be like incredible at what you
Well,
do.
it's an overall package.
Yeah, and his reactions. I mean, and Shinsuke Nakamura, like, there's no doubt, Shinsuke is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Top 10 wrestlers in the world, without a doubt, in my opinion. Shinsuke is that good.
Sure.
And watching this back, this is one of the best Shinsuke Nakamura matches in WWE that he's ever had. Legitimately,
agree.
this is an incredible match out of him.
Up
I mean,
until
the knee.
the end.
Yep.
I really, really, really don't like the trainer finish, especially the way
Mhm.
NXT pay-per-views have gone recently, where there's been a lot of trainer influence, and again, rightfully so on these other shows because someone was split open in a way they didn't like. Whatever.
Mhm.
I don't like the way they use this, and it took a long time. I mean, it
It
was
was
like
it was
3 or
the only
4 minutes.
blemish. It was literally
I
the
mean,
only blemish, and
in
it was a few minutes at the end, but
no,
it
but
served a purpose.
and you're right, but it's big for me because it took that long.
I
It
well,
I don't
yeah.
I don't I don't have a single issue with the trainers running over. And listen, 30 seconds, right? They cut to whoever's in the ring, they cut to someone else.
I
Listen,
think
we're
it led to
checking
the
on them, they're good
best
to go.
moment. I think it led to the best moment in the match. You had that
Yeah,
build where you're like,
yeah, the
because
run.
you feel like they're like, because it started taking so long, you're like, shit, they're about to call it. They're about to call it. He finally gets in the ring. Bobby runs over, hits him with that glorious fucking DDT, and it was fucking glorious. Looked incredible.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
and then the
fuck.
super exhausted kick out. Yeah, I know.
But that kick out honestly was unexpected, and Bobby Roode's reaction to it was perfect, and it really sold everything. And then you went and they finished the match. They did the triangle bit, the leg, and him almost getting it. Like, it detracted it from it, but I don't think, for me, it didn't detract as much.
Sure.
If they hadn't lasted that long, if it had been a quicker thing, agreed, 100%. For me, it would have been 5 stars. It took a quarter star off it for me. Honestly, it's a 4.75 for me. It took a quarter star off. Didn't take that much because it really was that good of a match for me, where like I don't really give a shit about that too much because I watched Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode put on a fucking clinic. And I would 100% recommend anyone to watch that match multiple times.
It bothered me more than you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would say
because you don't like fun. You don't like fun.
it was a 4.75, I think, without all of that happening. I disliked it enough to give it a negative 0.5. I'll put it at a 4.25.
Okay. I mean, I disagree, but I don't disagree that much.
I fully and wholeheartedly agree with Shane. It is a 4.25 all day, every day.
But on Thursdays, it's a 4.75.
And Meltzer gave it a 4.25. So I'm thirsty.
I give this whole pay-per-view a fucking watch this shit, because this is legitimately the first NXT pay-per-view that does not have a bad match on it.
4. It's a 4.
There's nothing to skip
Watch with
over. The
confidence.
whole thing is great. 4 for sure. Must
Yeah,
watch.
watch with confidence. It's literally like 2 hours long. It's not even super long. Just go ahead and watch it. Give it
And
a
you get
shot.
to see a really cool moment in WWE history where there was hope. There was actual hope that someone somewhere was listening to what wrestling fans wanted and trying to make it happen. And you got to see EY there. You got to see fucking, all this shit. You got to see Nakamura and fucking Bobby Roode and fucking, uh,
Again, especially at the
Asuka.
time.
Yeah. I mean, this, like everyone talks about the forbidden door, but, like in a lot of ways, WWE just like went out and brought everybody who was like worth it in, like
Well, there's
they're like,
plenty of people that were worth it outside, but no,
sure,
but sure. I mean, NXT was a really special talent vacuum at this point in time.
it's a very special time and place in wrestling history.
Yeah,
It didn't last long, but god damn it, it was fucking dope.
we're into the red hot NXT zone.
Yeah. Oh, this is it. This is it. We have hit the ground. We're going 100 miles an hour now, and
And
from
up
here,
until we get into whatever that I will probably be done with this series by the time we get into the next NXT special. So, once we get there, it'll be not as good, but
we got a nice run though here, where things are going to be great.
it's hot shit. But speaking of nice runs, next week we'll get into Isaac. I believe that we have a special guest coming in next week.
Oh no, we got a little ways. The 28th we're gonna have a guest. The 28th we're gonna have a friend of mine, Caleb Teskey, come on the show. We'll interview him a little bit, talk to him. He is a cannabis journalist in the great state of Vermont. He's been doing pretty much the only coverage on the emerging market and all the people involved in it. And he's also a wrestling fan and stand-up comedian. So he's going to come on. We'll do a little review. We'll talk to him about what's going on with the cannabis industry in Vermont. And then, we'll get into some wrestling. So I think that'll be a fun one.
But next week,
I think we're doing WCW.
WCW. Boys.
Which one it was? What did we watch last time? We watched WCW 1998 pay-per-view list. We watched something that was not good at all, as I recall.
Sold out, was it?
Was it?
Yeah, next we got Super Brawl.
What's the main event, Dozer?
Main event.
Oh, sold out. Super Brawl.
Hogan versus Sting.
Nice.
We got Booker T and Rick Martel. We got wait, what? Booker T.
We watched this one already.
No. Booker T versus Saturn.
Martel, no.
Goldberg versus Brad Armstrong.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, we got Jericho versus Juventud. We got Davey Boy Smith versus Steve McMichael. DDP versus Benoit. Luger versus Savage in a no DQ.
Again?
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall versus the Steiners in a tag match. And Sting versus Hulk Hogan for the vacant WCW World Title.
And it's coming to us from San Francisco.
We made it out of Texas, folks. We're getting the fuck out of Texas. We're going to San Francisco.
The fuck out. Goodbye.
Bye. Nat says bye too. Say something, Nat. No? Are we doing the outro music?
I'm getting there.
All right.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Such Good Shoot. If you are on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon. Or subscribe to us on your favorite audio catcher. Or finally, if you're on Facebook, leave a comment, like the video, and make sure to share it out to all your friends. Until next time, we have been Such Good Shoot.